When it comes to the question, what products should I use to be well protected against electromagnetic fields? Of course, we should look at the most likely sources of exposure. And this, in this day and age, usually starts with our cell phones. Cell phones are strong sources of electromagnetic radiation. The radiation becomes stronger when we're moving, even when we're walking, when we're driving in our cars, because the signal has to be stronger from the satellite and from the cell phone with a moving target. And because of the proximity to the body and the intensity of the field, the cell phone is usually the first device we should look at. Most people carry their cell phone with them most of the day. Even if it's on flight mode, this doesn't really decrease the EMF radiation significantly enough. And so that's where I would start. And we have these beyond matter chips or plates that are applicable to a device directly. And one of these for the cell phone is the best way to start. Now, we're also moving in the world exposed to all kinds of sources of radiation that we cannot reach, we cannot neutralize. When I walk through a big city these days, chances are that at any given point, I'm within the vicinity of 30, 40 wireless LAN routers that would have a functional signal at the position where I'm at. Cars today are strong sources of electromagnetic pollution because they are, to some extent, a Faraday cage, and so they reflect all the electricity, the electromagnetic fields created by all the devices, the computers on board, and so on. And this is particularly true for hybrids and electrical cars. So whenever I'm moving out in the world and I do perhaps not have my environment where I take care of my own devices and my own sources of electromagnetic pollution, it is highly recommended to wear this combination of the beyond matter pendant that is recommended to be worn on the level of the chest, sternum, or solar plexus. Because of the importance in the nervous system and in the energy system of this area, a pendant worn there is very helpful, so that electromagnetic pollution that reaches the body is transformed at this area into life-giving, nourishing energy. And from there, this effect can spread over other parts of the body. And in combination with a pendant, we recommend to wear the soles to be inserted into shoes. And the reason for that is that on the soles of our feet, we have these reflex zones for every organ in our body. This is well known in reflexology, where treatments of the feet, of course, specific forms of pressure point massage are applied to these various zones and pressure points on the feet, and this is highly effective. And if we have a transforming effect of electromagnetic fields at the soles of our feet, again, similar to the area of the heart center or the solar plexus, this effect will then travel upward through all the meridians that end at the feet and through all these pressure points or reflex zones to the different organs and in turn to the different physiological functions of the body. So we found that this combination of pendant and soles inserted in the shoes is highly effective. And actually one of the studies that was done on using just this combination showed that overall well-being improved dramatically within 6 weeks. This included the reduction of physical pain and all kinds of stress that subjects were asked about. So there's a basic package that contains of one chip for a cell phone and a pendant and a pair of soles for the shoes. This would be the starting point. If you take care of your cell phone and you wear the pendant and the soles when venturing out into the world. And obviously the pendant can and should be worn at home as well. You've already taken a huge step from being constantly subjected to damaging electromagnetic pollution to transforming a fair amount of this pollution into life-giving, life-enhancing energy. Now, in addition to that, I would recommend that you also use these chips on other strong emitting devices. Now, we don't have to apply these chips to every electrical device in our household. Remember, with every device where we apply the beyond matter technology, we not only neutralize something harmful, we're now creating a positive life-enhancing field. And if we apply this to the strongest sources of radiation, that's enough. That's all we need. We don't need to then worry about smaller sources of electromagnetic fields from technology. And typically, in most households, the strongest sources, other than the cell phone, are, of course, computers and wireless routers, smart meters, and Bluetooth headsets, headphones, because of the proximity to the body. This is actually something, if used regularly or for longer periods of time, that should be taken care of. Now, the periods of time that you're exposed to a particular device also should be taken into account. So, for example, hair dryers are a very strong source of electromagnetic pollution, but unless you're a hairdresser, chances are you're not nearly don't nearly have as much exposure to that field as you have to your cell phone. And if you take care of your cell phone, if you take care of your computer, if you take care of these other strong sources of radiation, use a hair dryer maybe a few minutes a week, well, that's not a big problem. So if you use this logic, what devices are particularly strong emitters of electromagnetic fields? Wireless LAN routers, cell phones, computers, smart meters, Bluetooth. What am I exposed to frequently and for long periods of time? You can make a priority list, and also have in mind that with every device that you transform using this beyond matter technology, with every step you take, a tremendous positive effect is generated. So while it is important to acknowledge the harmful effects of EMFs, I find it also important not to open Pandora's box in such a way that you then become overly afraid and overly concerned. So where I'm living here, I have these beyond matter chips on my computer, on my wireless LAN, on my cell phone, obviously. And then I wear my pendant and I'm fine. And I don't have other strong sources. I don't have a cordless phone, and I don't have smart meters here. And for starters, this is all it takes. So there are other products for optimum benefits for specific applications that you can look at. But first and foremost, start with what is most essential: the pendant, the soles for your shoes, and the chips for the cell phone and other devices that emit very strong fields.